Okay. I am here. I don't know if anyone else is here, but I am here. I guess they should update some of this. Dominaria United. Let me just make sure that has actually updated properly. Oop. Not yet. Huzzah! There we go. Okay. And I can take that off. There we go. Okay. Hi. So, new toy. New toy. New toy. Yeah. I was bad. I went, well, depending on your definition of bad, I went and got my hands on a collector's booster box of Dominaria United this weekend. Yeah, no, some would say bad. It depends on what you're looking for. I think at this point, like, I just wanted to see what was actually going to be in it. And B, apparently certain collector booster boxes had a possibility of getting a card from Legends in it. And Legends was the set that came out when I first started playing. Ooh. I have literally never opened a collector booster box before. I think I've opened one or two collector boosters, but not the actual box. This is a box topper. I will wait on the box topper. I want to be interested in what's in there. Oof. Yeah. These are 5, 6. There are 12 packs in these things. I am not used to such a small box. But that's what the box itself looks like. Ooh, pretty shiny. Alright, let's get the show on the road, and depending on how I feel, I also have a booster box of Cons of Tarkir sitting here. Whoops, there it is. That I may decide to go through and start and crack through that. That one's going to be a fast box to go through because we know about all the stuff that's in there. Everything from the Fetches and Sorin and Alter the Brood to like Monastery Swiss Spear and Siege Rhino, etc. So we already know about what's in that stuff, so I don't actually have to sit there and go through every card the way I commonly do. Commons. And my first pack starts off with, I don't know if this is a normal thing for collector boosters, but I have a double-sided token. I've got a Sapperling on one side, Power Stone on the other, and it's foil. That is cool. Oh man, I can't even look at these the way I look at a normal set. Alright, so this is going to take a while. So, is this entire pack foil? Not you. Not you, and not you. And everything else is. Okay. So for the non-foils, I've got an extended art Ether Channeler, which is going to be fun. A alternate art Namada Primeval Warden. I'll pull them up in a moment. And a Rogach Carekeep Overlord. There we go. Now, the one thing I have recently found when I'm trying to find cards for, like, specific cards, oh, you're from Dominaria Commander. Okay. Now everything's going to show up as saying sold out because the set is not out yet. So we don't currently, quote unquote, have any in stock. That is the foil, that's the etched foil version. We don't even have an entry for the regular version. So I'm going to assume that this guy's like $2. Other kobolds you control get +2/+2. Okay, so if you throw that in the deck with like a bunch of changelings, just as an example, suddenly everything goes boof because changelings have all creature types. Whenever you cast a kobold spell, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 4/4 flying dragon. And whenever you cast a okay. So, dragons come with a kobold for free. And kobolds come with a 4/4 dragon if you paid an extra 2. By the way, I apologize about how the left edge of the stream itself looks right now. Not a thing I can really do anything about. I had to rearrange stuff and stuff got messy. Alright, what's Namada? There we go. Showcase art, not textured, just the regular showcase art. It is $1.50. It is a 3/4 with reach for 1 black, 1 green, 2 other. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. When you do make a sapling, pay a green, sack a sapling to give this guy +2/+2 till end of turn, and then pay a black and 1 other and sack 2 saplings to draw a card. And then we have the extended art of Ether Channeler, which is 5 and change. Now, just so you know, the website that I'm using, which is skyfoxgames.com, which I've been using them as my primary local game store for probably over 20 years now. Now they've got a reasonable website. They are Canadian. The website has, from what I can tell, has relatively recently changed. So I don't see an option to change over to USD or euros, or I think the other was Australian dollars anymore. So these are all going to be Canadian prices. And that's basically 5 and change, which is not bad. I'm not going to go bother pricing everything. But that is a... Oh! That Roga that I started with, that's an uncommon. Okay, good to know. Alright. Foils. Writhing Necromass. It's a 5/5 to Death Touch that costs... It says it costs 7. But kind of like Gurmag Angler. It costs 1 less, 4. Now in this case, instead of Delve, you have for each creature card in your graveyard. Milling a bunch, casting this, and then exiling them to cast Gurmag Angler. You can have like a couple of 5/5 threats out on like probably turn 3 fairly quickly. Keldon Strike Team. Again, the rest of this pack is all foils. Which is 1 red, 2 other for a 3/1 common. With a kicker of 1 white, 1 other. Enters battlefield. If it was kicked, you make 2 soldier tokens. And as long as the strike team entered the battlefield this turn, creatures you control have haste. So those tokens, if you kicked it, will also have haste. So, boom. Heroic Charge. I have to stop doing that. No. 2 white, 2 other. Instant kicker of 1 red, 1 other. Creatures you control get +2/+1 till end of turn. If you kicked it, they've also got trample. This, again, it's a common. This is a cycle I'm really, really happy about. Okay. You see that? That is a land. That is common. That has 2 basic land types. Between that and the ones that we got from Kaldheim that were the exact same thing but snow, being able to build a 60 card deck on a budget and be able to pull up the colors that you need. I mean, yes, you're going to have to find a card that says search your library for a forest, or search your library for a mountain, or search your library for whatever, and make sure it does not have the word basic on it. But once you do that, a good example would be, I mean, just good old-fashioned like Rocky Tar Pit, originally printed back in Mirage. Yes, enters tapped, but cheap AF. It's $1 for this print. Not even $1 for this printing. Enters tapped, tap, sack, search your library for a swamp or mountain, which suddenly means, since this is a mountain, you know, this is wooded ridgeline, since that's a mountain and a forest, you can use that to fetch up a green source. Warhost's Frenzy. 1 red, 2 other with a kicker of a black. Instant. Oh, that's cute. So creatures you control get +2/+0 till end of turn. And basically until end of turn, when one of your creatures dies, you draw a card. I have a home for that already. Rulik Mons, Warren Chief. 2 2 green, 1 red, 1 other for a 3/3 with menace, which is fine. When it attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you can put on the battlefield tapped. And that's a may. You may put on the battlefield tapped. Which means if it's a land, you can choose not to put on the battlefield. If you didn't put a card onto the battlefield this way, you make a 1/1 goblin token. Pretty swamp. Pretty AF swamp. Oh well. Urg, Spawn of Turg. 2 black and a green for a frog beast. This looks like etched foil. With 5 toughness and a variable power. Power is equal to the number of land cards in your graveyard. Beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard, so it allows you to mill yourself, which will presumably occasionally put extra lands in the graveyard. And 1 black, 1 green, and sack land to gain 2 life. So now you can not only deal with lands that are in your deck, you can also deal with the lands that are in your graveyard. Shadowrite Priest. 1 of the cycle of lords that are in this set that are at, 2 mana. 1 black and 1 other for a 2/2 human cleric. Other clerics you control get +1/+1. Pay 2 black and 3. Tap and sack another cleric. So you can't sack him to his own ability, you gotta sack a different one. Search your library for a black creature card, put onto the battlefield, and shuffle. So that's going to be I think that's going to be a thing in Standard. I think people are going to find a way to make clerics good one way or another. And they'll just go from there. Because, you have like a handful of black creatures. They could be black-green creatures. They could be black-blue. They could be 5-color creatures as long as they've got black in their cost. And an ability that is not something like Devoid that turns around and says, by the way, you don't count. Yeah. Oh. Fancy version of Rulik Mons. So I got 2 copies of him in the same pack, which is hilarious. General Marhol El's Dragon. So 1 red, 1 green, 2 other for 4/4. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, it gets +3/+3 until end of turn for each creature blocking it. Now, back in the day, way back in the day, there was an ability called Rampage, and I think that is what Rampage did. Rampage, and okay, 702.23a, according to the comprehensive rules. Target ability, Rampage N means whenever this creature becomes blocked, it gets +N/+N until end of turn for each creature blocking it beyond the first. So this is Rampage 3 plus an extra +3/+3 for the first blocker. And then goblins, or not goblins, kobolds have got some weird names. Well, goblins too. Rosnacht, Hair of Rogach. 1 red for 0/1 with Battle Cry. Which basically means when it attacks, other creatures you control get +1/+0 till end of turn. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Rosnacht, make a Kobold of Care Keep token. Kobolds of Carekeep are for those that don't know, they're a 0/1 red creature with no abilities, but they are one of the most famous kobolds in all of Magic because they were a 0-drop. Legends had 3 particular kobolds that cost 0 to cast. Kobolds of Carekeep, Crookshank kobolds, and Crimson kobolds. To my recollection, only Kobolds of Carekeep itself was also referenced on another card. Nope, not that one. There we are. Rogach of Carekeep, which specifically gave your Kobolds of Carekeep +2/+2, which is why, where is it here? Nope. Which is why Rogach Carekeep Overlord gets other kobolds and not just other Kobolds of Carekeep. +2/+2. Alright, second pack. My token is a soldier on one side and a beast on the other. I think they're all foil, I'm not sure. Alright, first things first, zip through, see if there's anything that, yep, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so, my non-foils. Leaf Crown Visionary, which again, we're looking at a Lord here, so him I'm going to have to look up. Leaf Crown Visionary is currently an $11 card because that's the extended art. Which makes sense because it's also an elf. 2 green. Other elves you control get +1/+1. It's a 1/1 itself. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may pay green. If you do, draw a card. Okay, that's silly. That I expect to go up. Like just, oh, you are technically foil. Okay. King Darian, and this is what, 48? XL is 40, yeah, 48. XLVIII. Showcase art. Looks like this. It's not foil, there's just a little bit of glare. 370, okay. Oh wow. 1 green, 1 white, 1 other for 2/3. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. For 1 green, 1 white, and 3. So 5 mana in total. Put +1 counter on him and make a 1/1 white soldier token. Again, also in the same pack. Sacrifice King Darian. Creature tokens you control gain hexproof and indestructible till end of turn. Okay, that's hilarious. Foils. I'll come back to you. Jaya's Fire Nada, because, you know, it's The only thing that that beats fire is, well, more fire. You know, yo dog, I hear you like fire, so I put some fire in your fire so you can have fire while you fire. 1 red, 4 other, sorcery, 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker, so 5 mana for 5 damage, and scry 1. It's okay. I don't think I'd probably play that outside limited, but it's okay. Oh, Crystal Grotto. It's the newest in the cycle of lands that filter mana. Tap for colorless, tap 1, tap it, add 1 mana of any color. But this one actually comes into play in a scry 1. So this is arguably better than Zalfrin Void, which just taps. It's basically the exact same card. Except it doesn't filter for mana, and it's also common, I believe. Impede momentum. Now this is a mechanic I like. So 1 blue and 2 other for a sorcery. Tap target creature and put 3 stun counters on. Now a stun counter, we've had cards that say, you know, dude blah and blah creature does not untap during its controller's next untap step or next 2 untap steps or whatever. This uses stun counters to do the same thing. Basically, if it would untap, remove a stun counter instead. I really like that because, I mean, sure, now it's another counter to keep track of, but in most environments you're not going to have a lot of counters on the same creature. So it'll make the bookkeeping a little easier. It'll make, it's like, sure, you may have to use a different colored die to represent that as stunned. And can't really do anything. And scry 1. So tap down a creature for 3 turns in most cases and scry 1. Volshe Tide Turner. Volshe? Whatever. Not a card I've come across before. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh! I have a use for this. 1 blue, 1 other for a 1/3. Tap for blue. And it's a Merfolk Wizard. Tap for blue. Spend only to cast an instant or sorcery spell or a kick spell. I have 40 odd decks that I'm working on. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find you easily. I think that's this one. Yep, here we go. This is the list of decks I'm working on. And Mono Blue, where is it? Mono Blue, Thada Adele is a ramp deck. This ramp deck is going to use cards that feel more green to do the ramping. This deck is going to use cards like well, let's put out a couple of cards that will get the point across. Apprentice Wizard, 3 mana for a 0/1. Okay, here's a better picture. 3 mana for 0/1. Pay a blue and tap it for 3 colorless mana. Okay. Sea Scryer. 1 blue, 1 other for 1/1 Merfolk. Tap for a colorless, or tap 1 and tap it for blue. And the last one is Dreamscape Artist from Planar Chaos originally. 1 blue, 1 other for a 1/1 human spell shaper. Pay a blue plus 2, tap it, discard a card, and sack a land, which sounds like a lot. Search for up to 2 basic land cards and put them into play, then shuffle. Which means, if you're familiar with the card Harrow, this is Harrow. This is a creature that turns any card in your hand into Harrow. And sure, you sack 1 land, but you're getting 2 more out of your deck, so you are getting ahead in lands. And not only that, it also does help with mana fixing, because if you're playing blue, but you're not playing blue, you're playing like blue, red, green. Well, okay, green's a bad example. Blue, red, white, you're playing Jeskai. You can use Dreamscape Artist to sacrifice an extra island. Maybe you've got 3 islands in play, you don't need any more islands, but you really need a red source and a white source. And you can pull them up, and it does not say that they enter tapped. So unless an effect is making them enter tapped, they're going to enter untapped. You can use them right away. You lose a mana in terms of how much you generate. Like, it costs 3 to get 2, but the two can be of different colors, so that's nice. Next card. Anyway, so yeah, so Volshide Runner is probably going in that deck because I'm going to have blue spells that I want to be able to cast. It's just going to fit nicely. We have a new Tatyova. Steward of the Tides. 2 green plus a blue for a 3/3. Land creatures you control have flying. Seeing the phrase land creatures just seems odd. Which it is. It's definitely not an expression you see very often. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands, up to 1 target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. It gives it most, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of effects make sure that they give haste to the land that's becoming a creature, just so you don't get hit with the hey, I put this land into play this turn, I can't tap it for mana now because now it's a creature. Resolute Reinforcements. 1/1 for 1 white and 1 other with flash. Comes into play, make a soldier. Pretty Mountain. Another Tatyova. This is the alternate art. Actually, I just realized. Yeah, did I ever actually look up the other rogue guy? Oh no, yeah, I think I did. Whatever. Temporal Firestorm. Alright, let's pull this guy up. Temporal Firestorm. This is just a foil. And it's still going to be $1. And just so you're aware, yes, it actually does change price depending on what version it is. It's just the company's got minimum pricing for rares and commons and uncommons. And so it might be, hypothetically, I don't know, I haven't got a clue, I'm picking numbers out of the air here, if it's 25 cents normally and the foil is like 70 cents, they both round up to $1. Anyway, 2 red plus 3 sorcery, kicker cost 1 white and 1 other, and or 1 blue and 1 other. So however many times you kicked it, that's how many creatures you can phase out until end of turn. That is this first section here. And that does 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. That is... yeah, I do have a deck for that. If we go back to my giant list of decks, actually, Jeskai, Narset Enlightened Mastered, extra turns and extra combats. Yeah, I'm going to... yeah, that seems like a reasonable Wrath effect. Niall Evasoa Aeronaut. Showcase art foil. One green, 1 blue, 2 other. So 4 mana for a 2/4 flyer. Deals combat damage to a player. Look at the top X cards of your library. So it's got domain. Where X is the number of basic lands basic land types you control. I will point out relevantly, Wastes is a basic land but does not have a basic land type. So don't get tripped up on that. There's still only 5 basic land types. There is not 6, there's 5. And snow covered is not basic. It's what's called a super type. It goes in the same slot the word basic does. But anyway, so you look at the top. So when this deals combat damage to a player, look at the top, however many basic land types you've got of your deck. Put up to 1 on top of the of your library, and the rest on the bottom in a random order. So if you've got all 5 land types out, hypothetically, you look at the top 5. You choose 1 up to, you choose up to 1. You can choose 0. Put that on top. Shuffle the rest or randomize them some other way. Put on the bottom. Then, if there are 5 basic land types among lands you control, draw a card. This should be easier to pull off because this is green. And green likes to do mana fixing and stuff like that. So that should be easier. Now, Savitri Dragon Master. Whoa. It's $27. So, 1 black, 1 blue, 2 other. Comes into play with 4 loyalty. It's a planeswalker. Which is slightly surprising, considering what we, I don't remember it being that powerful a creature back in the day, but then again, that was also Legends. That's a different ball of wax. Anyway, +1. Until your next turn, creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays 2 life for each of those creatures. Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. Okay, hold on a sec. Where are you? This is blue-black. Taxing. Non-green. Yes, it fits in. Huzzah. Taxing is basically, oh, you want to do that? Well, pay this. Paying 2 life every time somebody wants to attack you or one of your planeswalkers? Ouch. -3. Tutor up a dragon. -7. Half of Crux of Fate. Destroy all non-dragons. And it can be your commander. Yeah, I can see why that is currently a $27 card as an etched foil. Next, Academy Floor Master. Extended art foil. See, the price does change. It was $330. Foil makes it $370. So 2 blue for a 2/3 human wizard. Oh yeah, this guy. Okay. So he's an she is an optional Howling Mine effect. You can draw an extra card on your turn. If you do, spells you cast that turn are going to cost an extra 2 mana. But you can certainly do it. And then another fancy copy of General Marho El's Dragon. So, pack number 3, Soldier Token and a Goblin Token. Writhing Necromancer. Sorry, let's do this again. You. So it looks like on average there are 3 non-foils, and the rest is going to be foil. And the foils are going to be, the non-foils are, well, let me see here. I got 2 cards that are like fancy art from Dominaria United, and 1 that's Dominaria Commander. So, we'll start off with probably one of the most unusual cards I've seen in this set, which is Torwaki the Younger. 1 black, 1 red, 3 other, for a 3/3 with reach and lifelink. Now I see black-red, and yes, I know that we've got a bunch of reach in red lately, over the last few years. I mean, over longer than that, to be fair. Red actually does have quite a bit of reach, in both senses now. But it's still not a thing that comes to mind. I see reach, and I see primarily a green ability. But he's a 3/3 with reach and lifelink for 5. Black having lifelink, no problem with that. It's just reach in red to me still feels weird. If another source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much damage plus 1 to that permanent or player instead. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Torwaki the Younger deals 2 damage to any target. So, if another source, okay, so it's not going to affect itself. They could have said, they could have actually just made it if a source and then said it deals 1 damage. But for decks that are playing with like Obosh, by the way, that's a 5-drop, which is probably why they did that. Astor, Bearer of Blades. Boop. $12. Okay. 1 red, 1 white, 2 other for so 4 mana for 4/4. Oh god. Okay. I'm going to get the small stuff out, the stuff at the bottom out of the way first. Equip creatures you control have equipment you control have equip 1. Vehicles you control have crew 1. Suddenly anything that's really hard to equip or crew is easy. And when Astor enters the battlefield, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal an equipment or vehicle from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. You're going to see this random order a lot, I see. So basically, every time you hit a... So obviously you're going to want to build a deck with enough vehicles and equipment in it to make it worthwhile. It's still 4/4 for 4. That's its fail condition, which is not bad. And then all your base are Blungas. Yeah. All your comes into play. Look at the top 7. Find a equipment or vehicle. Yoink. Goes to my hand. Shuffle the rest. Put them on the bottom. Maybe you've got something like Colossus Hammer, which is like 1 to cast, but like 8 to equip. Sounds right. 8. Yep, 8. Plaza of Heroes. Extended art. Holy cow. It's $20. $20 for a land. $20 for a rare land. Not mythic. I mean, again, it's it's extended art. But yeah. So tap for colorless. Tap for 1 of any color. Spend only to cast the legendary spell. We have oh my god. Shrines. Shrines wants this hard. Tap. Add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you control. Okay. 3. Tap. Exile this. Target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible till end of turn. Alright, so let's break this down. It's always going to be able to tap for mana on its own. You can then tap it for mana based on something, on a legendary, because this thing always cares about legendary stuff. Keep that in mind. Except for the tap for colors. Tap for mana that matches any legend that you've got in, any legendary permanent you've got in play. So this is why I mentioned shrines, because they're legendary enchantments. Or a mana of any color to cast something legendary. So you can use this to get your first legendary permanent out. Well, your first legendary spell out. Your first legendary non-land permanent. I say it that way for a reason. And then tap it for mana based on whatever you got out is. You can use it to cast legendary stories like Teferi's Time Twist and Karn's Temporal Sundering and Urza's Ruinous Blast and whatever. Jaya's Immolating Inferno, and I forget what else there is. But those don't produce permanents that are legendary. It'll allow you to cast Planeswalkers, because Planeswalkers are legendary. And then 3 tap, exile this to make target legendary creature any, doesn't have to be yours. Give it hexproof and indestructible till end of turn. So, i.e., good luck trying to kill it. Alright. Foils. Well, another Writhing Necromass. Keldon Strike Team, Heroic Charge, Wooded Ridgeline, specifically in that order. That doesn't come out well. Boop. Vohar Vodalian Desecrator. Oh! I had one of these at the pre-release. So 1 black, 1 blue for 1/2. Tap to loot, i.e. draw then discard. If you discard an instant or sorcery this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And then effectively pay 2 and sacrifice this. Sack it? Yeah, sack it. To give a instant or sorcery in your graveyard flashback till end of turn. Coral Colony. 1 blue, 1 other for a 1/4 defender. This is basically another... Is it Doorkeeper I'm thinking of? I think it's Doorkeeper. Doorkeeper. Nope. Oh, there we are. An extra point of power. 1 less activate. 1 less mana on the activation. Target player mills X, where X is the number of creatures you control with defense. Yeah, this is exactly Doorkeeper. But oh, Doorkeeper's common. This guy's uncommon. That barely explains why there's a point of why he's got an extra point of power and slightly reduced activation cost. Pretty plains. Balmor, Battle Mage Captain. 1 red, 1 blue for a 1/3 flyer. Oh! Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain trample till end of turn. That's cool. Threats undetected. Are you guys all... No, I will grab this one, which is Boartook Bone Rattle. That looks like an etched foil thingy. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I think so. 1 black, 1 green, 4 other for 4/4 with a domain ability. Enters the battlefield. If you cast it, choose target creature card in your graveyard. Oh, okay. So if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of basic land types you control, you actually reanimate it. Otherwise, it goes to your hand. So it's always at least going to your hand. Okay, that's cool. Threats undetected. Reminds me a little bit of the art for Realms Uncharted. Same cost, 1 green, 2 other for sorcery. Oh. Yep. Okay. Realms or not realms. Threats undetected. Regular version. Okay, it's not extended art. We'll go with that anyway. So 580. So it's probably like $4. Even if it's $4 for the foil, it's still fine. Search your library for up to 4 creature cards with different powers, as in power and toughness, not abilities, because that is something that confuses people. Powers. I deal 0 in combat damage, I deal 1, I deal 2, I deal 3, whatever. And reveal them. An opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Shuffle the chosen cards into your library and put the rest into your hand. Okay. Another copy of Roga. Have I got this style? No. Unless I missed you. Are you in here? No, I have a normal version of Roga. That's the foil etched one. That one's $4. So we've had him before. And then Anointed Peacekeeper, which is extended art foil. Yep. Went from $5 to $5.80. Yeah, I just so you know, I keep showing you just so you can tell that, yeah, the card I'm pulling is actually what I've got. So 1 white, 2 other for a 3/3 vigilant human cleric. So you can sack it to that reanimating guy. As it this guy. Okay. As it enters the battlefield, look at an opponent's hand and choose any card name. Spells your opponents cast with a chosen name cost 2 more to cast. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name cost 2 more to activate unless they're mana abilities. Keep in mind, mana ability mana ability produces mana. It doesn't require mana. It may, like that land that we had. What were you? There it is, the Crystal Grotto. It's got 2 abilities that produce mana. Right down at the bottom. The first one is a mana ability. The second is a mana ability. The first one doesn't require mana. The second one does. There's more restrictions to what isn't a mana ability, but in general, does it produce mana? If it doesn't, it's not a mana ability. So this will go, this is what, yeah, that is Dominaria United. It says on the site too. Yeah. That will, you have that, and what's Paulo's card? Elite Spellbinder in the same deck, and yeah, your opponent's going to have a bad day. Notice that it also says activate abilities of sources. That can be something like, that includes things like if people are channeling. Oh, that's cool. Okay, again, soldier on one side, kobolds of care keep. 0/1 creature. It has a name. It is red. That's it. Alright. Yoink. 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 Alright. You know what? Give me a moment here. Let's see if... There we are. Alright. So, my non-foils are Ramirez de Pietro, Pillager. 1 black, 1 blue, 2 other for a 4/3 human pirate. When he enters the battlefield, lose 2 life and make 2 treasure. So he's kind of a 2-drop in kind of the same kind of way that Jewel Thief is a 2-drop. Because Jewel Thief comes into play and you make a treasure. It costs 3 initially, but comes into play and you get 1 back. This comes into play and you get 2 mana back. Whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal combat damage to a player. Really? Exile the top card of that player's library. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled. Do you not do the same thing? There we go. Creative and deals combat damage to a player to make a treasure token. Exile the top card of it. Until end of turn, you may cast that card. Okay. Yeah. Kind of the same ability, except Ragavan only gives you till end of turn to cast it. This allows you to do it as long as it remains exiled. Defiler of Dreams. What the Hades are you? Dominaria United. This guy. Oh, this is the dude I want. So Defiler of Dreams is 2 blue plus 3 for a 4/3 flyer, which basically converts all Phyrexian. Okay. It converts all blue mana symbols on blue permanents you would cast into Phyrexian mana symbol, Phyrexian blue. But the wording is slightly different. As an additional cost to cast blue permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost blue less to cast if you paid life this way. This effect only reduces the amount of blue mana you pay. You can pay life and not have the reduction. It's rare, but there are times you are going to want to be at a lower life total. This will help you with that. And then whenever you cast a blue permanent spell, draw a card. $6 for that? Yeah, okay. Seems reasonable. Patrick Chapin's going to be a little upset. There's another innovator in Magic. Yeah, he got that nickname a while ago. Choira, Ageless Innovator. 1 blue, 1 red. For a 2/3 Human Artificer. Tap. Put 2 Ingenuity counters on her. Then you may put an artifact creature card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, where X is the number of Ingenuity counters on her. Yeah, so that's a thing. Alright, foils. Argivan Phalanx. Commonly played this at the Perlace for like 3 mana. I think I got to 1. It's a 6 mana 4/4 vigilance that costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control. Mesa Cavalier, it's fine. 3 mana for a 2/1 flyer, comes in play, gain 2 life. Aggressive Sabotage. This is basically Mind Rot with a kicker of a red, and if you paid the kicker cost, that player takes 3 damage. I might actually find a way to sneak that into my sideboard of my mono black burn deck, which has a very, very tiny red splash at this point. Semite Herbalist. 1 white, 1 other for a 2/1 human cleric. Whenever it becomes tapped, gain a life and scry 1. Frostfist Strider, 2 blue and 3 other for 4/4 elemental giant. Still weird. It's a 4/4 with ward 2. Enters the battlefield, tap a creature and put a stun counter on it. A creature an opponent controls, mind you. Zara Ojanen, Scion of Vafavra. 1 green, 1 white, 3 other for 4/4. Whenever it becomes tapped, put a +1 counter on each creature you control with toughness less than the number of basic land types among lands you control. So you don't necessarily want that. Well, if you put out a bunch of 1/1 tokens, if he's your general, whenever he attacks or is tapped for any other reason, commonly attacks, you put a +1 counter on all your tokens until they've already got a counter on them. Pretty Forest. Okay. Lagomas, Hand of Hatred. 1 black, 1 red, 1 other for 1/3. Okay. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you make a third of a ball lightning. I.e., it's a 2/1 with trample and haste that dies at the end of turn. Tap. Search your library for a card, put in your hand, then shuffle. Activate only if 5 or more creatures died this turn. So, back here, I already have Rakdos going to be Olivia Vodar and Steel and Sack. I.e., I am stealing your creatures and I am going to sacrifice them for fun and profit. This gives me a way to do it for fun and profit. And now I've got 4 more cards here. Myria, Scholar of Antiquity. I think this is, this is the textured one. That's this one. That is this one. 1 red, 1 green, 1 other. For a 3/3. Tap an untapped non-token artifact you control for green mana. It's an elf artificer. That's hilarious. Tap 2 untapped non-token artifacts you control. Exile top card of your library you may play this turn. So, and that's $10. That's not bad, but it's going to be, because red and green does not normally play with artifacts. They normally play stuff that doesn't like artifacts. So it's not saying they can't. It's just, that's just not done. Feliz Danita. She's a foil. She triples in price for being foil. That's hilarious. That is funny. She triples in price for being foil. So, 1 white, 4 other for 4/4 with first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. When she enters the battlefield, you may put an aura or equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield attached to her. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I can see how that's a thing. Zero the Golden Sting. That would be this one. 420. Keck. One black, 1 red, 1 green, 1 other for a 3/3 with flying and haste. Wow. When she attacks, put an egg counter on another target creature without an egg counter on it. When that creature dies, if it had an egg counter on it, draw a card and create a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. Okay. Yep. You put egg counters on stuff, and then when that creature dies, you get an insect token. Okay, that's apparently a thing. I mean, she's an insect, so yeah. But next card. Extended art. You don't have an option for foil. Neither of you do. Alright. Well, this guy, except this guy's foil. So I'm going to add like 20%, so it's probably a $7 card. So, 1 black, 2 other for a 0/0 with flash. It's a Phyrexian shapeshifter. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature card in a graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn, except it's a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. Which basically means, oh, look, you died this turn? Cool. From the battlefield? Yep. I'm coming to play as a copy of you. Black doesn't normally get copy effects. It gets them rarely, but it doesn't normally get them. Alright. Huh. I got a bird on one side, which I could have used at the pre-release. And then a Phyrexian 2/2. I don't know what that's for. Nice. Oh, I only have 2 non-foils. But at least one of them is really good. Urborg Goyf. Extended art, $8.70. I've seen this getting played on like pre-release stream, or not pre-release. Saffron Olive. Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, playing this over on MTG Goldfish. So it's 1 green and 1 other for an X, power, and X plus 1. It has a kicker cost of a blue and or a black. Okay. So it's green with a kicker cost that's a blue and or black. As it enters the battlefield, not when, as, that's relevant. Mill 3 for each time it was kicked. This has got power and toughness. It's got power equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard, and toughness equal to that plus 1. That's almost $9. It's probably gonna go up while it's in standard. I don't know about beyond that. Eternal Schemer. What are you? Oh, $5. One of each color in Esper for a 1/4 flyer. Enchantment creatures you control have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. For 1 white, 1 other, target non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature in addition to its other types and has base power and toughness each equal to its mana value. That does not say until end of turn anywhere. Target non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature in addition to its other types and has base power and base toughness each equal to its mana value. Okay. Interesting. Hold on a moment here. Hey, I'm streaming. Alright. Foils. Alright, just alright. And I think that's it, right? Yep, okay. So, Goblin Piker. 1 red, 1 other for 2/2 goblin at common. Pay red, tap, discard card to draw a card. One green, 4 other for 5/4 vigilance trample called Elfheim Worm. Tolarian Terror. Oh! Yeah, this guy. Yeah, he's good. Tolarian Terror. 1 blue plus 6 for 5/5 with ward 2. Costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. I think I'm going to put him into... I might put him into... I forget who the general is, but I'm going to be building... Is it... Dragon's Approach? Yeah. Oh, nice. Tadpool Turtle. 1 blue plus 3 for a 2/5. Pay blue plus 2 to scry 1. That just might go into my deck that's like full of cantrips. I was going to build it where everything is cantrips, but I might throw in a couple like that don't. Heirloom Battle Hymn. 1 red plus 2 for an instant. Oh, with a kicker cost of a white. Deals 4 damage to target creature or player. If it was kicked, you gain 4 life. So it's kind of a bad War Leader's Helix. It's this weird Char / War Leader's Helix that can't hit players. Sprouting Goblin. Oh, yeah. That common that I just mentioned at the start of this batch, a little upgrade. 1 red plus 1 for a 2/2 Goblin Druid. You can pay a red, tap. Oh, and sack land to draw a card. Interesting. It's also got a kicker cost of a green. And if it was kicked, you search your library for a land with a basic land type. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Pretty island. We already did Torwaki the Younger earlier. Rona, Shieldred's Faithful. Oof. 2 black and a blue and 1. So 4 mana. For a 3/4, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life. Oh no. You can cast it from your graveyard by discarding 2 cards in addition to paying its other costs. Wow. Yeah, wow. Elas Illucor, Sadistic Pilgrim. Oh boy. Oh, yeah. I need this guy for, where are you here? Where's Abzan? There it is. Gav, Guru of Spores. Life dot deck. Yeah, making a deck based around gaining life, having reasons to gain life, creatures getting bigger for gaining life, etc., etc. Legendary creature, Phyrexian Core Cleric. It's a 2/2 for a white and a black with Death Touch. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Yeah, he's not going to be a pain in anybody's posterior, is he? No, of course not. No, stop that. Ether Channeler. Normal version. Foil. What? That makes... Apparently the foil printing is slightly less than the non-foil? Weird. One blue, 2 other for a 2/1. Enters human wizard. Enters battlefield. Choose 1. Make a burb. Disperse. Or draw a card. Disperse. Return on land to its owner's hand. Ohabi Calaria. Yeah, you'll find some of these cards are actually, if you go back to Legends, some of these you actually get like full name for it now. This was previously just Lady Calaria. Now you have Ohabi. You have her first name now, finally. 1 green, 1 other. Sorry, 1 green, 1 white, and 1 other for a 1/3 with reach. Untap all archers you control during each other's player's untap step. Whenever an archer you control deals damage to a creature, you may pay 2 if you do draw a card. That says deals damage and not deals combat damage because a lot of archers are going to have an ability that's along the lines of tap, deal some amount of damage to target creature in combat. You know, target attacking or blocking creature or whatever. So that's not completely surprising. And this, I have one of these. Alrighty. This is extended dart foil. Holy Hannah. That's almost 35 bucks. So for those that are American, that's I think around 28 right now. Give or take. 25, 28, somewhere in there. Which is basically enough to get, what did I say, 35? You could almost 2-to-1 trade it for a regular version. Alright. One more puts us at halfway. This is the one more. So, whoops. I keep doing that. Zombie on one side and apparently another soldier. I like having those soldiers apparently. Yoink. Yoink. Okay. Oh! I do not already have this. Sphinx of Clear Skies. Extended art, so 930. So, 2 blue, 3 other for 5/5, flying with ward 2. It's already a good start. Deals combat damage to player. Again, domain ability. Look at the top. However many basic land types you control of your deck. Sorry, you don't look at, you reveal. An opponent separates them into 2 piles. Put 1 pile in your hand and the other in your graveyard. So if you've only got one basic land type, so let's say you're playing mono blue. Yeah. I hit you, take 5. I reveal the top card of my deck. You put it into one of 2 piles. Okay. I can either put that card in my hand, so effectively getting a free card draw, or I can graveyard it. If I've got 5 basic land types, I reveal the top 5. You split them up into, the opponent splits it into 2 piles, which could be anything from 3 and 2 to 5 and 0, because 0 is a legal number. 1 pile goes in my hand and the other pile goes to the graveyard. It's fact or fiction basically, with a variable. Oh yeah, Miria. I have a Miria. Was she a... No? Was she a... Oh, okay. So the other Miria I had was foil. I don't have to go too far back, do I? There we are. Normal showcase art version of Miria. Alright. One, two, three. There we go. So, Artillery Blast. Domain card. 1 white plus 1 other for an instant, deals damage to target tap creature equal to 1 plus number of basic land types you control. So it can deal up to anywhere from 2 to 6. It's always going to deal at least 2. Vanquisher's Axe. Am I reading that right? No. So 1 to cast. Equipment. Equip cost of 2. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Molten Tributary is the island mountain. Bite Down. 1 green, 1 other, instant. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Elvish Hydromancer. 1 green +2 for a 3/2 with a kicker of 1 blue +3. Comes into play, and if it was kicked, you get a token that's a copy of another creature you control. Monstrous Warleech. XX for power and toughness. 1 black, 3 other for and a kicker cost of a blue. As it enters mill 4, power and toughness each equal to the highest mana value among cards in your graveyard. Interesting. So if you've got a 7-drop in your graveyard for whatever reason, it is a 4 mana 7/7, or maybe a 5 mana. Again, pretty plains. We've seen Ramirez de Pietro. Tori Davenant. Fury Rider. Davenant as in Davenant Archers. And Davenant Healer out of Time Spiral block. 2 red, 1 white, 1 other for a 3/3 Vigilance Trample. When it attacks, all other attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. Other red attacking creatures you control. Other red attacking creatures you control gain trample till end of turn. Untap each other white attacking creature you control. That's cool. I'm going to have to put that into my Anthrax and Cyanide. Anax and Samidi. I don't know what I'm actually going to... I might actually change that to be my general instead. Garna, Blood Fist of Keld. 2 red, a black, and 1 other for a 4/3. Whenever another creature you control dies, draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, deals 1 damage to each opponent. That's also going to go into Olivia Voldar and Steel and Sack. Now my rares. Valiant Veteran. Normal version. Foil. 480. It's a little bit of a surprise that it's only 50% more, but... So, Valiant Veteran, 1 white, 1 other, for 2/2. This is actually one of the beefier lords in the set, because it's actually a 2/2. Other soldiers you control get +1/+1. Then you can pay 2 white and 3 other, so 5 mana, and exile him from your graveyard to put a +1 counter on each soldier you control. That's kind of cool. Torsten, founder of Benalia. Don't have the etched foil, or yeah, I don't have the pretty version showing up. It's $6 normally, so probably like $9. 1 green, 1 white, and 5 for a 7/7. So 7 mana for a 7/7. Enters the battlefield, look at the top 7 of cards of your library. Put any number of creature and or land cards from among them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Way dice make 7 soldier tokens. Llanowar, Green Widow. Extended art. Foil. $4. This guy. So 3 mana, 1 green, 2 other for 4/3 with reach and trample. Has a weird combination of abilities because reach is defensive and trample is offensive. And a domain keyword. Okay, so 1 green plus 7. Okay. 1 green plus 7. Essentially flash him back. I.e. bring it back into play. In this case, bring it back tapped. It gains, if this permanent would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. It's 8 mana normally, reduced by 1 for each basic land type you control. So 8 minus 5 is 3. You could get it down to 3 mana. It's fine. Did I do this again? Nope. Okay. All right. Oh boy. Quarter to 4. It sounds like people are coming back from school. Again, soldier on one side, goblin on the other this time. Okay. So, my third copy of Roga. Sarah Redeemer extended art. Oh, $4. Okay. So 2 white, 3 other for a 2/4 flyer, which sounds a little low, but let's see what the rest of it. Oh! Never mind. Whenever another creature power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, put 2+1 counters on that creature. Okay. Ooh, that in combination with Jada. Oof. Alright. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Timely interference. So, 1 blue with a kicker of 1 red and 1 other. Instant. Target creature gets -1/-0 till end of turn. If this spell was kicked, that creature blocks this turn of Fable. Draw a card. Hexbane Tortoise. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. 1 green, 2 other for a 3/2 with a 3/2 turtle with ward 2 and enlist. Enlist is a new keyword in this set. Basically, whenever a creature with enlist attacks, you can tap a creature that doesn't have summoning sickness to add its power to this. So if you tap a 3/3, you know, you get the 3 that this naturally has plus the 3 from the 3/3, and you end up with 6 power. So it'll be attacking for 6. The current version of negate, we all know what that does by now. Colossal growth. Okay, not completely unhappy with that. 1 green, 1 other. They keep trying to find ways to make giant growth cost an extra mana without it actually costing an extra mana, but it does, but it doesn't. Yeah. 1 green, 1 other. Kicker cost of red. Target creature gets +3/+3 till end of turn. It's an instant. If this spell is kicked, basically it gets an extra +1/+1 on top of that, so +4/+4, and it gets trampled till end of turn. Yeah, nice. Electrostatic infantry. 1 red, 1 other for 1/2 with trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1 counter on this guy. Phyrexian Missionary. 1 white, 1 other for a Phyrexian Human Cleric. It's a 2/3 with lifelink. Wow, that's big. Forget the rest. A 2/3 with lifelink for 2 mana is actually a lot. Kicker cost 1 black, 1 other. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, no. Pretty swamp. Ooh. Okay, another copy of Elas Illucor, Sadistic Pilgrim. Tobias, Doomed Conqueror. 1 white, 1 blue, +2 for a 3/2 human soldier with flash. When it dies, for each non-token creature you controlled that died this turn, make a zombie. So it's a white-blue card that you want to kill in response to, like, Wrath of God. So that it's there when Wrath of God resolves, so you get a bunch of zombies out of it. Alright. Rasputin the Oneiromancer. There we go. Wow. 250. I mean, I have to still read what he does. One white, 1 blue, 1 other for 4/3. That's pretty good. 3 mana for 4/3. Enters the battlefield, put a dream counter on it for each opponent you have. Each opponent makes a 1/1 makes a goblin. Tap, remove 1 or more dream counters from Rasputin. Add that much colorless. That's what he did back in the day. Actually, Dreamweaver. I'm afraid to find out how. Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. It's $400 now. But relevantly here, was 6 mana, came into play with 7 counters on it, and you could remove counters for colorless mana. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, if he started play untapped, you put a new counter on, and he's not allowed to have more than 7 counters on. Whatever. Anyway, The new version is a 4-1 that comes into play with probably 3 counters, assuming we're talking EDH here. Tap, remove a dream counter from him. Make Silver Knight. A 2/2 white knight. Well, no, almost. 2/2 white knight creature token with protection from red. That's cool. Ooh, fancy version of Danita. Feliz Danita. Benalia's Hope. Showcase art. Foil, $4. Oh yeah, that's right. She was like, she tripled in price for being... Yeah. We went through what she is. The Cruelty of Gix. On sale now at Kmart. The Cruelty of Gix, which probably also has Rita Head. Cool. This is a normal version, just foil. Whoops. Ah, damn it. Stop doing that. There we go. 260. So it's a saga with Rita Head, which means that instead of having to go and start at chapter 1, and then next turn go to chapter 2, and next turn go to chapter 3, you can actually put this into play and start it on any chapter. And you don't get the previous abilities, but you will get the future ones. Chapter 1. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a creature card or planeswalker card from it and make them discard it. Chapter 2. Search your library for a card, put in your hand, then shuffle. You lose 3 life. So, Grim Tutor. Chapter 3. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Yeah, any kind of reanimator deck would like that. Oh. Raids Arisen Nightmare. Fancy art foil. $20. Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. Okay. So 2 black, 1 other for a 3/3. Creature type Nightmare. At the beginning of your end step, you may sack an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. Instant, sorcery, tribal. So sacrifice a permanent. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. Wow, that's going to be silly. There's a reason that's currently $20 right now. How much is the... Okay. Alright. Hilarious. I think all the tokens are like soldier on one side. This one's an ornithopter on the other side. Yoink. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Oh, okay. So, I think this might be my first plain, well, as a non-foil, Jasmine Boreal of the 7. The alternate art foil etched is 60 cents, so this is probably like The store would sell it for 50 cents because it's an uncommon. So 1 green, 1 white, 1 other for 2/4. Tap for white and green. Spend only to cast creatures with no abilities. Creatures you control with no abilities cannot be blocked by creatures with abilities. In other words, if they have any sort of text at all in this box here, at all, reminder text doesn't count, any sort of text, it doesn't matter if it's flying, death touch, first strike, a ping ability, whatever, if it has anything in there, it's not blocking anything that you've got that has no abilities. Like you want this leading a deck that has creatures with no abilities. You want this leading a deck that's got Elite Vanguard and Watch Wolf and probably some number of, probably a token deck of some sort, because most tokens don't have abilities, like your soldier tokens and your, well, I'd say zombies. Well, it's possible to make 2/2, so I think it's possible to make zombies. Yeah. Quirion Beast Caller. Extended art, not foil. So 370. That's not bad. So 1 green, 1 other for 2/2 elf. Sorry, you're not an elf. You're a Dryad warrior. Whenever you cast, like Quirion Dryad. Quirion Dryad got a +1 counter every time you cast a spell that was white, blue, black, or red. It could also be green, but it had to at least be one of the other colors. This gets a +1 counter whenever you cast a creature spell. When it dies, distribute X +1 counters among. So basically, when it dies, take the counters that are on it and split it up amongst any number of target creatures you control. Normal version of Rasputin Dreamweaver. And even though we've seen this card before, it's been a while, really, since we saw it in Standard. There we are. $3. No. Case of Koilos. That is pretty effing art. And it's a land that taps for colorless, or you can tap for white or black, but if you do, you take a point of damage. Alright. Juniper Order Root Weaver. Actually, give me a sec here. Let me. Okay. Juniper Order Root Weaver. 1 white, 1 other for a 2/2 human druid with a kicker of a green. If you paid the kicker cost, it comes into play and puts a +1 counter on something. It's fine. It's got the wilderness. 1 green, 2 other. Kicker cost 1 white, 1 other. Search your library for a basic land card, put on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. If it was kicked, make 2 soldier tokens. So it's a slightly more expensive rampant growth. And if you pay the kicker cost, you get Raise the Alarm. Flowstone Infusion. Immolation is an instant. If you've been in Magic recently, Immolation, you probably remember. It's the enchantment. It's 1 red. Enchant creature gets +2/-2 till, well, gets +2/-2. This is the exact same thing as an instant. Miria's Outrider. Oh, yeah, this guy. 1 red +4 for 4/4 with reach. Again, feels weird. But, yeah, it's a thing. I gotta get used to it. Comes play, deals damage to target. Sorry, to each opponent equal the number of basic land types you control. So close. Mossbeard Ancient. 2 green, 5 other for 7/7 trample. Enters the battlefield, gain 5 life. They couldn't have made it like 6 mana for 6/6 and gain 6 life, for 8 mana and 8 life, or found a way to make it 7 life. Oh yeah, Relic of Legends. Okay, he's fun. 3 mana artifact. Tap for any color. Tap a legendary creature you control. An untapped legendary creature you control for 1 mana. So basically, suddenly your legendary creatures now tap for mana. Not directly, but effectively. Pretty Forest. Legomas, Hand of Hatred. We did him already. Etched foil. Tetiova, we did her already. Defiler of Flesh. You're the black one. You are regular foil. Again, weirdly worth less. 2 black, 2 other for 4/4 with menace. Again, does the Phyrexia mana thing for your black permanents. Whenever you cast a black permanent spell, target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains menace till end of turn. That's going to be fun in any sort of aggro deck. Joyra. I had her before. I had her near the beginning, didn't I? Where were you? Or were you... Oh, maybe you were regular. Maybe you were not. You were not foil. Okay. This is the alternate art. Or the showcase art, or whatever they want to call it. Foil. Joyra, Ageless Innovator. This as a foil. $27. Because it's foil. 8 times the price. I have this and 3 more packs. 3 more packs. Alright, again, Soldier on one side. Oh, and that 2/1 Trample Elemental that I need for that other guy. Okay, I have 2 of her now. Alright. Primeval Spawn. Extended art. How is the extended art worth less? I don't get that. So, one of each color plus 5. For 10/10 Vigilance, Trample, and Lifelink. If you try getting this in a play without actually casting it and without spending mana, you're going to exile it instead. Might still have a use doing that. If you're playing some kind of weird combo deck that, like a storm combo kind of thing. So 10/10 Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink. It's an avatar. Leaves the battlefield, exile top 10 cards of your library. You may cast any number of spells total mana value 10 or less from among them without paying their mana cost. Okay, so it costs 10, it's a 10/10. You look at top 10 and you can cast up to 10 mana worth of spells. Cool. The ever-changing pain. This guy. It's only a couple of bucks. 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black for a 3/3. Pay 1, sack another creature. This becomes a copy of that creature, except it keeps the ability to change into other things. That's gonna be fun. There's a couple of decks I think I'm gonna want to put that in. Jaya, Fiery Negotiator. Borderless, $10. I got one in my pre-release too. Sweet. I have 2 of them. So, this feels like they tried taking... They took Jace the Mind Sculptor and tried to port it over to red and flavor it for Jaya. Now, Jace the Mind Sculptor. I'll show you why I say that, because I don't think I'm completely wrong. Let's go with the Double Masters, because that's going to be... Alright. So 4 mana, 3 loyalty. 4 mana, this has got 4 loyalty. If Jace was made today, it'd probably also start with 4 loyalty. So, this, for +1, this gets a 1/1 Monk with Prowess. +2 Fate Seal 1. I.e., look at your opponent's top card, you can put on the bottom of their library. That one doesn't line up too well. -1, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Choose 1, you may play that card this turn. 0, Brainstorm. Look at the top 3, put 2 cards from your hand back on top. Kind of a card advantage thing. -2, choose target creature an opponent controls. Whenever you attack this turn, Jaya, Fiery Negotiator, deals damage equal to the number of attacking creatures to that creature. I.e., you go, I'm going to be hitting that. I attack with all of these guys. I'm attacking with 5 creatures. That's taking 5 damage. -1, return target creature to its owner's hand. Removal. -8, you get an emblem with. Whenever you cast a red instant or sorcery spell, copy it twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. -12, exile all cards from target player's library, then that player shuffles their hand out of their library. Basically trying to be win con at that point. The only ones that don't really line up, in my opinion, are the Monk versus the Fate Seal. That's a little more control-y versus a little more aggro-y, but I don't think it's that far off. Next, Deathbloom Gardener. 3 mana, 1/1 with Death Touch. That taps for any color. It's an elf druid. Good to know. Gibbering Barricade. 1 black, 2 other for a 2/4 with Defender. Pay 1 black, 2 other, and sack a creature. Gain a life and draw a card. Meteorite makes a comeback. 5 mana, mana rock, literally. Taps for any color. Tap for one of any color. Comes at play, do 2 damage to any target. Essence Scatter makes a comeback. Shalai's Acolyte. 1 green, 4 other for 3/4 Flying Angel. With a kicker of 1 green, 1 other. If it was kicked, it enters with 2/+1 counters on it. So 5 mana, you get a 3/4 flyer. 7 mana, you get a 5/6 flyer. And you have to spend 2 colors. I think they could have done better on that. Even at it's uncommon. You can find, like, Sarah Angel has been uncommon before. Sarah Angel would be, built. Yeah, I think you could have at least given this an extra point of power. Battlewing Mystic. Oh, cool. 1 blue, 2 other. 1 blue, 1 other. For a 2/1 Bird Wizard with a kicker cost of red. It's a flyer, so 2/1 flyer for 2 mana is really nice. Enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, discard your hand and draw 2 cards. That's not bad. Obviously, you don't want to pitch, anything crazy, but you can control when you cast it. Pretty Mountain. Vohar, we showed you already. Tura Kennerud, Sky Knight. Oh man. Okay, so 2 blue, 1 other. 2 blue, 1 white, 2 other. You get a 3/3. So you're paying 5 mana for a 3/3 flyer. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, make a soldier. Another version of Torwaki. I have chaotic transformation. Dana, dana. Oh, you don't have the extended art show up. Oof. Alright, I'm going to assume it's the same price as the pre-release promo because it's extended art. So, it's 1 red plus 5. Exile up to 1 target artifact, creature, enchantment, planeswalker, and or land. For each permanent exile this way, its controller reveals reveals cards from the top of their library till they reveal a card that shares a card type with it. Puts that onto the battlefield, then shuffles. So keep in mind when you reveal for an effect like this, you're revealing the top card of your library. Those cards are still in your library, so the shuffle is shuffling those cards back out of the library. Apart from, so if your opponent's playing with like a single planeswalker and they've only got the one, you exile, you're paying 6 mana, it's a sorcery, exile that planeswalker, but it's gone. And then Same with enchantment for that matter. Yeah, I got him. He's $30 as a foil right now. A Johnny Sleeper Agent. Sorry, Johnny. So, 1 green, 1 white, 1 Phyrexian green or white mana, and 1 other. So it's 4 mana. 1 has to be green, 1 has to be white, 1 can be anything. And the 4th can either be green, white, or 2 life. And he's got the ability completed. Now, if you paid that 4th mana that I mentioned, that green or white or 2 life, if you paid 2 life, he enters with 2 less loyalty. So he enters with 4 normally. If you paid the 2 life, he's going to enter with 2. +1, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, put it in your hand. Otherwise, you may put on the bottom of your library. -3, distribute 3 +1 counters among among up to 3 target creatures. They gain vigilance till end of turn. So you can put 1 on each of 3 creatures. You can put 3 on 1. You can go 2 and 1. And then -6, you get an emblem with, whenever you cast a creature or planeswalker spell, target opponent gets 2 poison counters. Yeah, poison's making a comeback again. Alright, how are we doing here? I got this and I got 2 more. Okay, breathe. So, Moira Urborg Haunt. Extended art is that's got to be wrong. Again, I'm going to assume that if it's extended art, like, unless there's a reason for it. Oh, you've got a low card number, that's why. Okay, you are $1.50. Okay. 1 black, 2 other for 3/2 with menace. Deals combat damage to a player. Return to the battlefield target creature card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Okay. So if I sacked a creature for an effect and then hit you for damage. Okay. Torsten, founder of Dominaria. He's the one with all the 7s. I just the regular version is still like $6 for the regular version. Oh yeah, sorry. My token here is a black bird and a white bird. Weird. I got a bird on both sides. So you know bird is the word. Vodalian Sea Scavenger. Or not Vodalian. Yeah, Voda Sea Scavenger. I think we did that one already. Idyllic Beachfront is the white-blue one. Shadow Prophecy. Right. 1 black, 2 other instant. Look at the top X of your library, where X is number of basic land types among lands you control. So look at the top however many basic land types you've got. Put 2 in your hand and the rest in the graveyard. You lose 2 life. Captain's Call. 1 white, 3 other sorcery. It's basically a slightly bigger Raise the Alarm for a bit more mana. You know, instead of paying, because Raise the Alarm you get 2 tokens for 2 mana at instant speed. Now you get 3 mana, 3 of them at sorcery speed for 4. Urg, Spawn of Turg, we've talked about already. Fires of Victory. 1 red, 1 other. Kicker cost of 1 blue and 2. If this was kicked, draw a card. Fires of Victory deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal the number of cards in your hand. Oh, okay. So it's a burn spell that will hit your opponent for however many cards you've got in hand. And kicker cost lets you actually get a little more oomph out of it. Pretty Island. Battlemore Battle Mage Captain. Jasmine. Boreal of the Seven. Fancy version. Now we start getting. Oh, okay. The Raven Man. Fancy art. Foil. It's only like $3. That's not bad. Okay. I was expecting more, but 1 black, 1 other for a 2/1 human wizard. At the beginning of... Wait, this is... Oh, that's this one. This is the showcase textured. At the beginning of each end step, if a player discarded a card this turn, you make a Blackbird token, which is a 1/1 flyer that can't block. And then you can pay black and 3 and tap it. Each opponent discards a card, activate only as a sorcery. Another copy of Myria. I don't remember if I've done that one. You are just a normal foil, I think. Yeah, so you're like almost $4. Ramses Assassin Lord. That's this guy. So 1 black, 1 blue, 2 other for 4/4 with Death Touch. He's a human assassin. Other assassins you control get +1/+1. And whenever a player loses the game, if they were attacked by an assassin you controlled, you win the game. Wow. That's hilarious. And then yeah, I got that, and I didn't just get that. I got that one. I got Liliana of the Veil, borderless, foil. That's $112. That I'm like, there's cards that I should have been sleeving. That is a card that I'm not even. Yeah, that's going into a sleeve now. And if you don't know what Liliana does by now, well, pity on you. 2 black, 1 other, 3 loyalty, +1. Each player discards a card. -2, target player sacrifices a creature. -6, separate all permanents target player controls into 2 piles. They sacrifice the pile of their choice. Yeah, that thing is a little... She was, for the longest time, like, the best 3-mana planeswalker in... Like, she was seeing play in... When she was legal in Standard, she saw play in Standard. Modern, Legacy, Vintage. Like, literally everywhere. And now that they've reprinted her for Dominaria United, she's going to be able to see play in Pioneer now. Oh, what's this? I have a 4/4 Vigilance Angel token. And a soldier. Okay. Nice. Nice start. Temporary lockdown. Extended art. 760. Okay, almost $8 for that one. 2 white, 1 other. Enchantment. Enters battlefield. Exile each non-land permanent mana value 2 or less until this leaves the battlefield. That also includes tokens that don't say they're copying another thing. So if you get a token in play that says, hey, I'm a copy of, like, the most common example is Pack Rat. At least for me it is. Pack Rat has an ability down here that says pay mana, discard a card, put a token onto the battlefield. That's a copy of Pack Rat, which means it copies Pack Rat's mana value, which is 2. Which means that it's going to be a copy, it's going to be 2. Anything else that does something similar, right of replication, type effects, etc., are going to do the same thing. So it may not hit those, depends on the mana value of what it's copying. But tokens that are like, hey, make 3/1/1 goblin tokens. Okay, they have a mana value by default of 0. I have another General Marl El's Dragon. The Lady of Otaria. I don't remember who you're supposed to exactly be. But she's almost $5. 1 green, 1 red, 3 other for 5/5 avatar. You may tap 3 untapped dwarves you control rather than paying the spell's mana cost. Which really means also if you have Magda, sorry, drawing a blank on the name there. If you have Magda out, you then also generate 3 treasure tokens. At the beginning of each end step, if a land you controlled was put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put any number of dwarf cards from among them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. So that includes things like cracking fetch lands. my Coast. Yeah, Vimaya Coast. Pretty version. 420. Nice. Again, just like Quetzalcoatlus, taps for colorless, or taps for blue or green, but if you do that, you take a point of damage. And on top of that, I should point out that they also do enter untapped, which is a big deal. I've got one pack left after this, plus the promo pack. Okay. Deathbloom Gardener, we did that already. Gibbering Barricade, we did that already. Meteorite, we did that already. Essence Scatter, we did that already. Tory Davenant, Fury Rider, we did that already. Walking Bulwark. 1 mana for a 0/3 with Defender. It's a golem. It's an artifact creature golem. 2. Until end of turn, target creature with Defender gains haste, can attack as though it didn't have Defender, and assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than equal to its power. Activate only as a sorcery. Has a lot to put on a single ability. I'm not complaining, that's a lot to put on an ability. Swamp. Rona, we did with the fancy art. More stuff. Zur Eternal Schemer. This is my second one at least. But this one is. Are you the textured? You are. Yeah, you're the textured foil. That is 1830. Shevin Devastator. Extended art. Wow. Extended art foil. $30. Okay, so 1 red plus X for a 0/0 with flying and haste. Enters battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Basically a fireball that's going to attack every turn. And then Shield Dread, the Apocalypse. That's not the version I have. That's not the version I have. I just have a normal version. I'm going to have to go based on this one, which is like $70. Which I'm going to presume is probably more realistically like $50 or something. Well, maybe not, because it is also so 2 black, 2 other for 4/5 with Death Touch. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. What? WinCon in so many ways. It's cards like that that make me want to play cards like Lignify that just say, yeah, you don't have any abilities. Ooh, here's an insect token. And a soldier. To go with the eggs. Last pack. I mean, I can't do any better than what I've done. Okay. Defiler of Faith. Extended art. Okay. This is the white one that does the Phyrexian mana thing. 2 white, 3 other for 5/5 vigilance. And whenever you cast a white permanent spell, make a soldier token. Tobias. Oh no, Tobias Doom Conqueror. I don't have to worry about, because I'm just doing rares and mythics at this point. Miria, we've done. We've seen her. Carplus and Forest United. $4 again. Another land that does the same thing. Comes in untapped, taps for colorless, tap for red or green, but take a damage if you do. Griffin Protector. 1 white, 3 other for a 2/3 flyer. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, this gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Extinguish the light. 2 black, 2 other, instant. To destroy target creature or planeswalker. If its mana value was 3 or less, you gain 3 life. I like that. Molten Monstrosity. 1 red +7 for 5/5 trample. Costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. I think I'm going to be throwing that into... I have a deck that's mono red and only commons, and I think that's going to go in. Battlefly Swarm. 1 black for a 1/1 flyer, which back in the day was like impossible without some kind of drawback. Now it's a Phyrexian insect. Pay a black, Battlefly Swarm gains Death Touch till end of turn. So activate Death Touch. Runic Shot. 1 white, sorcery. Destroy target creature. If this spell was kicked and the kicker cost is only a single blue, scry 2. Territorial Morrow. 1 black, 1 green, 4 other. Power and toughness is equal to twice the number of basic land types you control. So if you've got an effect that says you have all basic land types, it's a 10/10 for 5. That's fine. Pretty Island. Zar Ojanan, Scion of Ifavra. 1 green, 1 green, 1 white, 3 other. Oh, this is the one that puts a +1 counter on everything that you've got that's got a basic, that's smaller than basic land types you've got. Okay. Aran, Benalia's Ruin. 2 white and a black for a 3/3 with menace. I had this guy at the pre-release too. Pay a white and a black, tap, and sack another creature. Put a +1 counter on each creature you control. That thing is so good. And my last 2 cards. Adar Wastes. Foil. Should not be cheaper. Oh, might be cheaper because pre-release foil is an option. Again, same thing as Carplus and Force and everything else, but this is the white-blue one. There are 10 of these. 6 got printed in this cycle. I'm assuming that means the other 4 getting printed in the next set. And Leaf Crown Visionary, Extended Art, foil, $20. 2 green for a 1/1 elf druid. Other elves you control get +1/+1. He's only a 1/1. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may pay a green, and if you do, you draw a card. Alright. Box topper time. No, I think you're too new. Yep. I got Ramirez de Pietro as my box topper. Yeah. That's a thing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it for now. I did get a few really, really good cards out of that. I mean, I got Liliana of the Veil as the... I mean, she is... No, let's do this the other way. Where is she? There she is. Yeah. The borderless foil. That's $112. I am not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain about that one bit. Anyway, yeah, I think I'll call it there for now. Try and sort through these things really quickly, and you know what? I don't know, I may open that booster box of Konzatar here later this weekend. No promises. But, yeah. I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Boop and